here at the Star City Games Modern Open in Indianapolis, part of the SCG Tour, brought to you by Ultimate Guard and Carnox Chairs. Nick Miller alongside two-time Open champion Drake Sasser. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
New trophy.
It's new, it's
go along
fancy.
with the one from Worcester last year.
Oh yeah, love
Drake,
to see it.
Your deck choice this weekend was spot on. Only player in day 2 on Storm, and a lot of the matches this weekend just didn't even look close.
Yeah, so Storm, just diving into that a little bit. Storm was a deck that I played a lot in like 2017. I mean, it was fine at the time, but like overall, it's kind of fallen out of favor. But going into this week, the Urza deck was all the hype, right? Like the Urza outcome deck. And I noticed pretty early in my testing this week that deck seemed like it didn't have a very good, like a very quick goldfish. Like it couldn't really kill that quickly, and it wasn't interacting well. So I just overall wasn't terribly impressed with the deck. That's what I mentioned in my hot take on Modern, is I don't think that deck's actually very good. I think Urza is much better. But, so I noticed that people were playing Outcome, and then my call for the deck for the weekend was going to be Amulet, which, I mean, there was multiple that made top 8, but I realized I had no idea how to play Amulet. So the level 3 deck, I went with Storm. I had a lot of experience on it, and went with my gut, and was like, I think there's not a lot of graveyard hate, there's not a lot of removal spells. People are trying to goldfish. Storm is one of the best decks in Modern at goldfishing if people are not playing interaction, so.
That's just a great lesson to take home from the people watching, just in case, you know, the top deck is a deck that you're not comfortable with. You don't have to play that. You can find the deck that preys on that deck.
Lateral a little bit.
You did that easily. I mean, the finals there was a sweat, especially in game 3.
Yeah. Oh my God, when he played the second stroke.
When both of you just had pretty unimpressive starts. And then the second stroke, when you thought you were like, hey, you're dead.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, do it for the camera. And then,
then he had it. I was like, oh, dude, he literally said to me, do it for the camera. I was like, okay, I'll start casting my spells, casting my gifts, and he's like, stroked me the second time. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Both strokes. He's 2 in his sideboards with both.
What are you thinking when that happens?
Oh, I think I'm dead. Like, I'm like, okay, he has all the mana. His draw has been slow. That's pretty obvious. And the way he'd been holding up his mana, I knew he had 1 stroke. Like, it was very clear he at least had 1. So I was like, all right, I can play around it with the gifts passed. And then he wouldn't play Titan because he wants to hold it up, because otherwise if he plays Titan, he taps out and dies. And so I was just like, okay, he's going to untap, I'm going to Titan, he's going to Titan, and I'm dead. And then he like attacked for this creature. I was like, oh my God, I live. I'm alive. Everything is great. I did not expect to live through that turn.
Big win this weekend.
Oh my gosh.
Put you back in thick of the season, or the yearly race here for the PC.
Right.
How do you feel about Modern? You know, we got regionals coming up, then another Modern Open. What are you looking to do? So
I am actually looking to put some time into Amulet this week. I didn't have a bunch of time to test it and really get good at it, get comfortable with it. That's a deck that's on my radar for regionals. That's currently my front runner. I don't think Storm is going to maintain a good choice. I think people are going to pick up their Fatal Pushes, their Graveyard Hate, all that stuff, especially with Storm winning the Open. I think it was a small window for Storm to do well. It'll still be a fine deck. Like, people are definitely sleeping on it overall, but I don't think it's going to have the same kind of dominating performance that I had in this tournament. So I'm looking at Amulet in the coming tournaments, but I got a lot of work to do for sure.
You're the champion.
Ooh.
Close it out. You got a long drive. I know you're going to make your friend drive. He said,
oh yeah, he's going to drive. I want a trophy. Come on.
Closing shout-outs for this weekend.
Closing shout-outs. Shout out to my team, Team Nova. They've, especially Harlan Fear, I've worked a lot with them, and Harlan in particular has been kind of like my mentor as far as these tournaments have gone, and I really appreciate him. Shout out to my travel buddy, Michael Kidd. You know, my mom raising me, teaching me to play Magic. And shout out to my wife, my lovely wife, and Zach Allen, also in top 8. You know, he's helped me test as well, and I've really appreciated all their support and working with all the wonderful people I get to work with when testing Magic. So,
congrats again,
Nick.
Drake. Always a pleasure. Send it back to Cedric and Patrick to close it out here in Indianapolis.
Congratulations.